Yep. Inside, I want to kill myself. We are on an 0-7 run over the last 2 days. After tonight was just complete bullshit. So that's how I'm going to start off this show. Horrible Sunday, 1-5. I don't even know what to tell you about that. I just don't want to do this anymore. I have never seen anything like this, man. With the slump continuing, 2 straight losses, not a good day at all. 0-4. I just have not had a good season, man. What can this slump that I'm on? The slump continues. I've reached a new peak, actually. I'm gonna burn my Bruins hat, man. I don't know what is going on with the Bruins. March 8th, is that what it is? I don't even know. It's March 9th, I think. Who even knows, man? I don't know what day it is anymore. I don't even know what day it is anymore, man. Back with you after the worst day that I could possibly have. Back with you, as I always am. Until I die, at least. 0-2 yesterday, and yesterday did not go well for me. 0-5. The worst month that I've ever had in my 18 years doing this. I don't know what to even tell you about this anymore. Broke the slump yesterday as the slump discontinues. The slump continues. Somebody fucking kill me, please. I don't even know what I should do at this point other than potentially end it all. What's up, everybody? It's Toad back with you, Better Off Dead. This is the Sunday, October 5th edition. Thanks to people who hung out last night for the NFL show. Still time to watch that, although, of course, the NFL London game has already kicked off. But I analyzed every single game. Again, I gave out a couple of plays, did not give out a play in that game. If you want to go see the analysis on that, you can go watch it still. Jeffrey, what's up, man? Thanks for hanging out. Mark Lawrence on Carolina and Tampa. I like Mark Lawrence. I mean, I feel like some of his picks, I don't know. I don't know if those are like free picks that he's given out there or something like that, but like all the professionals that I've seen are on Seattle. I agree with Seattle in that one, and I do agree with Carolina. I don't know. Lawrence usually is like on what I consider to be like the more professional side of games, though. So I don't know. Seems strange that he has Tampa Bay, or I guess maybe that was just a free opinion of his. Yesterday we went 2-3, so we finally had a losing day. I talked about it a little bit on the show last night, but I didn't go into detail with it. 1-3 in college football wasn't great. Purdue was kind of hanging in there. They wound up losing by 2 touchdowns or something in that vicinity, so we didn't get there. They were, I believe, a touchdown off from the cover there. Not good enough, obviously. Louisville was the one that was actual bullshit. Like, I could take those losses that aren't bullshit, but Louisville was bullshit. Louisville completely dominated the game statistically. If you look at the stat sheet, everything was in favor of them. Total yards, passing yards, rushing yards, yards per play, everything. It's like, how did Louisville not even win the game at all? And, of course, we needed them to cover as a favorite. Oh, yeah, it was because it was 2 turnovers at, like, key times early in the game, and they were behind by 10 in the fourth quarter, I think, and they still came back, tied it, and sent it into overtime. So there was still an outside chance they were going to be able to win by 7 in overtime, which they didn't. They still lost the game outright, but statistically that should have been a winner. So that was the one that was very disheartening, I would say. Houston didn't get there. Probably shouldn't have added that one, to be honest. And to anger me more, 2 of my 3 that I left off the card, one, Florida and Penn State, UCLA winning outright over Penn State, absolutely ridiculous. I gave those out as leans, and then my lean on Kentucky, I think, was a loser by a half point, unless the 21 was out there at all. So all 3 of those almost came home. I should have just played the board yesterday, man. I would have had more wins that way. But yeah, Houston was a loser, didn't get there. They were kind of hanging around too. They were down by 2 scores pretty late in the game, and then they just never scored again. Texas A&M was a winner, and it took a while for them to get there. They were able to get some points on the board late in the game. I don't think it was a misleading winner for Texas A&M. I know it was a really low-scoring game for a while, and it looked like they weren't going to be able to get it done. But statistically, they definitely dominated the game, so we did get there with Texas A&M. And the baseball game, we got there as well with the Milwaukee Brewers, a pretty easy win there. So not a horrible day. And the way that I was running over the past couple of weeks, not having a losing day in 2 weeks, I mean, I'll take that. And then 2-3 isn't the worst that you could do. Those are his freebies. Yeah, I wonder what Lawrence is on for like his paid plays. Sometimes I look like afterwards to see like what he was on because I think you can find like what he was on because there are sites that like track how handicappers do. Um, let's get into today's slate, man. So again, the NFL. You can watch the show from last night. I have the two ugliest plays imaginable. I will talk about those again at the end of the show, real quick. We just have one WNBA game and two Major League Baseball games to talk about here today. Phoenix and Vegas in the WNBA Finals. Vegas won the first game only by 3 at home. They were a 3-point favorite, I believe, in that game. And the line is pretty close to the same. They're down from 3.5 to 2.5 here. 55% of tickets, 75% of the cash coming in on Phoenix in this one. So the money is coming in on Phoenix, which I don't know if we really consider that to be a zigzag spot, though, because usually I say in these series like this, the team that lost has the adjustments to make. But it wasn't really an outlier. If you look at that game, there was no real statistical anomaly in the game. The teams played statistically close. It was a close game. It landed right on the spread, so no outlier. So there's nothing to really like zigzag. Like which team is going to make the adjustments here? I don't know, man, because both teams actually played pretty much what like the way that you would expect. They both played pretty well in the game. So, I mean, I would actually kind of think that Vegas would actually maybe be the team that has some more adjustments to make because I think they kind of feel like, oh, we're the home favorite. The game is a little bit too close for comfort. Then again, of course, Phoenix, I mean, they really want to try to avoid going down 0-2 here in the series as well because if it goes 2-0 Vegas, Phoenix, highly unlikely they're going to be able to win 3 games in a row, even though they will have 2 home games in the series still, if that happens. But, I mean, if they're able to have all 3, if they're able to extend the series, I should say. But, yeah, it's a difficult handicap. I don't really have much of an opinion on it at all. And then we have 2 Major League Baseball games today. The American League games are today. I'm going to give out a play in the Yankees-Blue Jays game, and hopefully it's going to be a correct one. Detroit-Seattle is the night game. These are both on Fox Sports. Detroit won game 1, which surprised me. They were the biggest underdog, and they came in and won 3-2. It was a close game, obviously. It went into extra innings. There was a lot of bullpen usage on both sides here. As far as the bullpens are concerned, Seattle does have the better of the 2 bullpens. I don't know how far I usually zoom in on this. Seattle used 5 relief pitchers yesterday. Detroit had a bullpen game, so they used even more than that. They used basically every arm in their bullpen. So I do think Seattle still does have the bullpen edge in this one. I don't really think they have the starting pitching edge. They do have the offensive edge, and I do think the starting pitching is at least close. But, I mean, Seattle, they cannot afford to fall down 2-0, losing 2 home games, man, because they have a big home advantage. Seattle's really good at home. And Detroit's not particularly good on the road. They're only 1 game above 500 on the road. Seattle 51-30 at home on the season. But it's going to be difficult, man, because Detroit was able to steal game 1, and now they got Skubal pitching in game 2. So there's a decent chance Detroit's going to take a 2-0 lead in this series, which would not be what I would have expected. I think Detroit is easily the weakest team left in the American League here, and probably the weakest team left in all of the playoffs, in the entire playoff field. But Skubal is on the mound. He's the best pitcher in baseball. 2.21 ERA, 0.89 whip on the season. Home and away, good either way. 2.3 road ERA. He pitched in the playoffs already once, and he had 14 strikeouts against Cleveland. He did walk 3 guys, too, but he only allowed 3 hits and 1 earned run in 7 2/3 innings. He threw a lot of pitches, though. He threw 107 pitches, and he'd only thrown more than 100 pitches one other time, going all the way back through into late July. So he doesn't throw over 100 pitches that often, even though he is one of the best pitchers in baseball. But he still pretty much dominated in that game. So I don't really expect him to fall off a whole lot here. His numbers are good against Seattle, too, on 112 at-bats, 35-6 strikeout walk ratio, 223 average allowed, 656 OPS. So I do expect him to do well. I mean, almost every time out, he's going to do well. Luis Castillo, pitching for Seattle, might be able to battle him, though. 3.54 ERA, 1.18 whip on the season. He's been really good at home, 2.6 ERA at home. And he had a double-digit strikeout total in his last outing, which was in the regular season. Had a 2.45 ERA in the month of September, 29-3 strikeout walk ratio. Seattle won his last 4 outings, although granted, he was facing some pretty weak offenses during that stretch, but he was good. He hasn't pitched for a while now, though. So Skubal kind of has more momentum here because he already pitched once in the playoffs. He's kind of more on like regular rest here. Castillo's had a lot of time off, which does mean he's more rested. But if you throw off a pitcher's schedule like that, it can affect them a little bit, man, because it's like he basically missed a start in his schedule. So I don't know if that's going to necessarily be a good thing for him. Generally, I do still think he's going to pitch well here, though. Has good numbers against Detroit, 121 at bats, 33-6 strikeout walk ratio, 248 batting average allowed, and 644 OPS. So I do think both starting pitchers will do well here. The money is coming in on Seattle. Detroit's down from -140 to -133. I think the professional money is basically saying, well, you're paying a tax for Skubal here, basically. Like, Seattle is still the better overall team with the better bullpen and the better offense. So if you can dodge Skubal and the game is close going into the later parts of the game, it might make sense to look towards Seattle as a home underdog there, especially when they're going to be in desperation mode, really trying to avoid falling down 0-2 here. 60% of tickets, 52% of the cash on Detroit. So Detroit is public, basically because it is Skubal, and the public is basically what have you done for me lately is always their mindset, and Detroit has been good in the last few games. So that's basically it. Yeah, I mean, this game I'd be looking more towards doing something with an under, but the total is just so low. There's no way that you can play an under 6, which is where the total is, because it's a playoff game. It's such a low total here. With the bullpens being pretty used right now, I would really worry about a full game under there. 61% of tickets, 74% of the cash on the over. You could go first 5 inning under. You would have to go under 3 if you wanted to do that, but that is probably the way I would play this game still. If you wanted to play it, I would probably go under first 5 innings, under 3. It is a playoff game, so you're going to get less scoring. Definitely a chance that Skubal shuts out Seattle for that duration for the first 5 innings. Potentially could happen. Just, a couple of things maybe to worry about a little bit that I pointed out with those 2 starters, but generally I do think they should pitch well. Then we do have the Yankees in Toronto. Let's just throw it up now because it's going to be the best bet segment. I'm going to go right into just mentioning my NFL best bets one more time too. But we're going to take the shot here with the Blue Jays as a big home underdog, plus 135. And as a Yankee hater, I hope we get this one right. The Blue Jays did win yesterday, but I want them to win the series, obviously. They won 10-1 yesterday. But it was a little bit misleading in a way because it was a 2-1 game, probably in like the 7th inning. But the Yankees bullpen woes are real, man. The Yankees bullpen is definitely the worst of these 2 bullpens. And I think we get an extra bullpen advantage for Toronto here because the Yankees used more relief pitchers yesterday. They used 5, and Toronto only used 4, and they didn't really use their high leverage bullpen arms because the game was a blowout. So Toronto's better bullpen arms are still available here, and I do think they're going to use them. They might have their bullpen come into this game earlier, so that is something to keep in mind. Maybe a little bit of a worry. There might be a little bit of a worry there because Toronto has a very inexperienced pitcher on the mound here, so that's the one concern here. But I think that's giving us value on Toronto, man. The Yankees are a very public road favorite, just like Detroit. Yankees down from -150 to -148. You know you're paying a tax with the Yankees down 0-1 and with their ace on the mound. There's not really going to be value to be had playing the Yankees. 73% of tickets, only 71% of the cash on them. I know I pointed out yesterday the Yankees are pretty good on the road, 44-37. Blue Jays really good at home, though, 54-27 at home. So even though the Yankees are one of the better road teams, the Blue Jays are still really good at home. Max Fried is pitching. Obviously the Blue Jays are going to have to dodge him. But I think they might be able to get to him for something here, man. I know his numbers are really good on the season. 2.86 ERA, 1.1 whip. He's not quite as good on the road. ERA almost a run high, or 3.28 ERA on the road. He pitched in the wild card series, 6 1/3 shutout innings against the Red Sox. Battled Crochet, though, and the Red Sox wound up winning the game. Fried did walk 3 guys in the game with 6 strikeouts, so his walk rate a little bit off right now, potentially. He did face Toronto and did pretty well last time out at home, though, in 7 innings, 3 earned runs allowed, only 4 strikeouts and 1 walk. But even though he pitched well in 2 home starts against Toronto this year, his 1 road start against Toronto was actually not very good, which was On July 23rd, he pitched against Toronto in this stadium. Only lasted 5 1/3, gave up 4 earned runs, 6 runs, so the fielding wasn't good behind him. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. So he had a pretty bad outing in that one. So I think it is possible that Fried doesn't do great in this game. I mean, I'm not expecting him to do poorly, but he might be just off enough that it makes sense that we have that it makes sense to play Toronto as an underdog and that they can keep the game, within reach, basically, with Fried out there. Fried against Toronto, his overall numbers are mediocre in 120 at-bats. A pretty bad 20-11 strikeout walk ratio, with the walks basically dispersed across the whole lineup, so he doesn't really do that well against them. 250 average isn't terrible. 713 OPS isn't terrible, but he doesn't go out there and dominate them either. And he's going to have to go up against Trey Savage, who is getting the start. Man, I know it might be a pressure situation here, but being up 1-0 maybe takes the pressure off them a little bit. He's a rookie. He's only made 3 career starts, had a 3.21 ERA. I know his whip was too high, 1.43 whip, but if you look at his numbers, they've been good so far. He has a 0 ERA at home, only 1 start so far. He pitched, his last outing was a shutout. It was his best outing, a 5-inning shutout of Tampa Bay at home. And the thing to note about that is he had already faced Tampa in his debut on the road. Difficult environment, by the way, to pitch in Tampa. It's a hitter-friendly ballpark, and he held them to 1 earned run in 5 innings that first outing of his, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks. But because Tampa had faced him already, he didn't have the unfamiliarity edge anymore the second time out, and he still shut them out for 5 innings. So that is a good sign. I know his other start, he didn't do very well against Kansas City on the road. Kansas City, not a good hitting team, so that's a little bit of a concern. But the fact that he bounced back and it was against a team that had already faced him, I think that's a good sign for Savage. And he is pretty good if you look at his scouting or whatever. There's a reason why he's in this rotation right now. They think that he can they think he could be the guy, be one of the guys, man, in the rotation. And of course, he does have an unfamiliarity edge here because the Yankees have never seen him before. So I think he might be able to keep this game within reach early in the game. I'm not saying he's going to out-duel Max Fried or anything like that, but I think he can pitch well enough to keep this close, getting to the point where we should have a little bit of a bullpen edge. As far as the offenses, the Yankees have the better offense, but Toronto's is almost as good. So there's not a huge difference between the two. So yeah, we're going to do it, man. I think there's value getting the unknown quantity here with Savage, who does have good potential, good stuff, good scouting on him. Let's go with it, man. He's shown the ability to strike guys out at the major league level as well, so that is a good sign as well. We'll take the shot on Toronto. Hopefully it gets there. It is a fate of the public as well. So yeah. And at least I was right about the over in that game yesterday, but it came entirely because of the Yankees bullpen. So, I mean, that was part of the reason. I didn't give it out as a play, but that was part of the reason I leaned to the over, although I thought the starting pitching might do worse than it did. But still correct on the over, so whatever. Anyway, the NFL plays we have today, in addition to that Toronto playing baseball, we have New Orleans -1.5, and we have the Jets +1.5. If you want to see my analysis on those, you can go check out the video from last night. I know they're ridiculously ugly. I get it. It's terrible. But that's what we do in the NFL, man. You're going to wind up on some crazy ugly teams. The Browns are already out to a 7-0 lead. So I mentioned that I thought the Vikings did have an edge in that game, playing in the London/Dublin area. Although I think I actually picked the Browns against the spread in my overall pick'em league, though, just because of the way the market shaped up. So again, when I give out these opinions, yeah, that's my opinion. But then I'm also also have to factor in what the market is doing late, and I have to decide, does that trump my opinion on the game? So some difficult decisions to be made. The Giants still have the money right now, 69% of tickets, 74% of the cash on them. But the Saints are up from pick'em to a 2. I still think the Saints are the right side. I'm not changing my opinion on that one. Nor am I changing my opinion on the Jets. The Cowboys, 65% of tickets, 63% of the cash, and that line is still around 1.5. So have at it with those two plays. As far as the market read, otherwise, the cash percentage is on the Dolphins right now, but I still don't agree with that one. I lean to the Panthers. Raiders, Colts. The Colts still have the cash percentage there. It's basically no change from last night, but I still think that I lean against the Colts at that number above 7 there. At below 7, it might be a different story, though. And I think that's what we have in Pigs Can Pick 'em. I think it is below 7. So it's a tough call because I think I lean to the Raiders situationally, but getting it on the wrong side of that key number 7, maybe a different story. Still lean to the Broncos, even though the Eagles have a little bit of the cash percentage right now. I still lean to the Ravens as a home underdog in the injured player spot. I think that's the only way to look there. The money is coming in on them, even though they are also a little bit public. The money is coming in on a quite public Cardinals team. I would still probably lean against the Cardinals. I think the actual money has dropped the line on that one, so I don't buy that cash percentage there. Lean to the Seahawks, like I said. That's looking like a pros versus Joes type of situation there, where it looks like the public percentage is on the Buccaneers for the ticket percentage, but the money is actually on the Seahawks, and it's driven that line through that key number 3. So I think that is a legit move. I think Seattle is a pretty heavy professional side today. The Lions, I would fade the Lions as well still. I mean, they're extremely public with less of the cash on them. So even though that's a ridiculously ugly one too, I think if you play that game, the only way you could do it is take the points with the Bengals at 10. I still lean to the Chargers. They're public, but they are also getting more of the cash there. I think the spot is better for them. Still lean to Buffalo in the night game as well, even though they're public as well. More of the cash coming in on them. And then I do still lean to the Jags Monday night, but I might not wind up making it a play because it's like, I mean, the cash percentage right now is more heavily on the Chiefs than was the case last night. Seems a little bit strange to me, man. So we might wind up leaving it at 2 plays this week in the NFL, but we'll see. That's going to do it. Jeffrey, thanks for hanging out this morning. Go check out my NFL video. There's still time to watch that before the rest of the games kick off. Learn to Toad on Twitter. Learn to Toad on Instagram. I got to get the plays up for today on Instagram. Only 3 of them today, so won't be too bad. Yeah, like, subscribe to the channel here, Better Off Dead. YouTube, let's get this thing rolling. We're on audio as well. Reviews definitely help over there. Listen and review on Apple and Spotify. Covered in Uke on YouTube for my ukulele content. Want to grow that thing as well. And then patreon.com/learntotode. And there's some bonus Uke content there. That'll do it for now. Short video this morning. We'll be back tomorrow with probably another short card. We'll have National League Baseball tomorrow. And I think that's probably it for tomorrow, but hockey starts on Tuesday with a triple header. NHL begins. I'm not sure that I'm going to have any plays. A lot of times I won't have a play in like teams' first games of the season in hockey or in the NBA, really, because it's just tough to gauge. You really just have to kind of make the play based off of like, do you think there's some discrepancy between how good a team is versus like what their expectations are coming into the season? Like, our team's under or overvalued coming into the season is kind of what you have to gauge. So a lot of times I won't have plays on the first day or 2 of those sports, but we'll see, because I wait for the situations to kind of set up. But again, we will see. That's going to do it for now, man. Have a good one today. Happy Sunday, and peace for now.